Hey guys, what is up? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Moleskine City Notebook, the London edition. Okay, a little bit of a fisheye here because we're going to be using a GoPro. It's just kind of easiest to do that and use both hands at the same time. So, Moleskine has made a line of city notebooks. There's one for London, there's one for New York, I believe there's one for LA, Tokyo, and a couple of other cities I forgot, but you can check them out on their website. Got this one for about $17, including Amazon Prime. So it was kind of a fun thing. I've been researching little pocket journals for a long time now. I've got to take something with me to a study abroad this summer. We're going to see how it holds up. So it's your typical Moleskine journal, except this one actually has a little bit more flex to it than most. It's not quite as hard as their traditional hardcovers, but it's definitely not their soft cover model. So it's a nice medium in between. So far, it's definitely the best thing about the book, just for comfort and putting it in your pocket. First page is kind of annoying. It says, in case of loss, please return to. That's great, but then right here, not sure if you can read that on the camera. It might not be focused on. It says, as a reward, this is how much I'm supposedly going to pay you. What the heck did they put that for? I'm a poor college kid, spending all my money going to London. I don't know if I have a reward for this book. Anyways, here's a great page for traveling. It's got all your personal information on here. Fill in what you want, fill in what you don't. You got your blood type here, which I guess could be great in emergencies, telephone, emergency contact information in case something should happen to you. Kind of a fun page to have while traveling. Contents page is split up into a few sections. We have general information, topography, notes and thoughts, city file, which is kind of like a categorization of the things that you found, kind of a journal of dreams sort of section we'll be looking at later. Loose notes for quick messages, kind of tear out little squares you can give to people, I guess if you want to hand your phone number out. And then enclosed in the back of the book, we'll take a look at that right now, is the traditional Moleskine expandable inner pocket, which is great because some of the websites that reviewed this didn't actually mention anything about that pocket. In the inside of this pocket here, you have tabs for categorizing your own sections. Some of them are labeled kids, sports, web, miscellaneous, theater, markets, etc. But then there's a bunch of blank stickers right here. And you can write in your own categories and the tabbed pages that are included here. Kind of convenient. We're just going to slide that back in, or not. One other cool thing about this book is it comes with this right here, which is a few sheets of tracing paper that you can use on your maps or to trace whatever it is that you find in your adventures. And so you can literally trace your footsteps on the maps that literally trace your footsteps using the maps that are included in this book. Speaking of which, get to the map section. Oh. Alright, so we have some city maps here. I'm not sure how detailed these maps are, how accurate they are. I haven't been to these places. Some of the reviews on Amazon say that they are extremely simplified maps and they don't show some of the cross streets or shortcuts that people might be accustomed to taking in these areas. Again, I'm not sure. I haven't been there. According to Google Maps and iOS maps, these seem pretty accurate to what we're having on there, which unfortunately is kind of the downfall of this book. I bought it because it was so cheap. It seemed like a cool memoir to have years from now, but while I'm going through these maps, and there's quite a lot of them, there's also an underground map, which is fun. I just realized that this would be so much more convenient on my phone, where I could have everything digital. I could have, you know, an automated route system put up for me, whereas in this, it's kind of, eventually it would be kind of cumbersome to flip through all these pages and try to actually find everything that we're looking for. So it's kind of an outdated idea, as great of an idea as it is. Now, first, there is a pull-out map in here that is pretty useful, though. Right here. It's the main map of the city. It kind of pulls out so that on the other side you can see an expanded edition of the London Underground. And that's nice to have at a glance right here. And I'm sure in the other city editions they have a similar thing, if not for Underground, then for trolley systems or what have you. So that's nice to have. And then there's a index over here on the side. Try to find everything quickly, all your other different routes. So that's nice. It's just, like I said, the maps just are kind of outdated by modern GPS and cell phones. So I'm not sure how often I'll be using this map section, just so you kind of get an idea of how big the map section is in comparison to the rest of the journal. It's about half of it, actually. So about half of this journal, there we go, let's get a size comparison here on the side. So about half of this journal I'm never actually going to use, thanks to the invention of smart devices. I mean, it's kind of cool to have. What I plan on doing with it right now is just kind of marking on there, you know, places I visited, putting little stars and things, and that'd be kind of fun to look at in the future, years down the road when you're back from your trip. So right after the maps, we get to the Notes and Thoughts page, which is for writing down all of your ideas and making your drawings. So it's just a bunch of blank pages. Unfortunately, I'm a writer, so this is kind of a setback for me. My lines aren't the straightest thing. If you're just going for sketches or some quick jot down of ideas, this is going to be perfect. Unfortunately, this is the smallest section in the Moleskine book, which is odd because these books are famous for writing and sketching and keeping your ideas. So you got about that much of your book, which is hardly anything, I believe. It's quoted here at 42 blank pages in comparison to 96 categorized pages here and 36 pages of just maps. So coming into the categorized section here, kind of a fun idea, again, for memoirs, mementos. Not sure if you can read this. It says places, legends, and recipes. It's on a tabbed page, as you can see right here, with little icons so you can find them pretty quickly. Next one is bars, wineries, and stories. Not sure why those are together. I guess you could have some cool stories in a bar. Places, dreams, and adventures is the next section, which is designated by the icons of a bed, a moon, and a heart. I guess they want you to have all kinds of fun-loving adventures. Names, faces, encounters. This is a great section. You meet people you don't want to forget. You make some new friends overseas or wherever you're going. This is a great place to jot down all that quick contact information, have for future reference again when you're going back and kind of remembering these things. Info, shopping, and art. Books, movies, and music. Great for people like me who are all about the media. And then over here we have a bunch of blank tabbed pages for your own customization using those stickers that we showed you in the back there earlier. And that's it. So you got this tracing paper here. Again, you can take out these clear sheets, lay them over your map, literally trace your footsteps of where you're going and what you've been doing. That's kind of a fun idea to see what you did that day. Usual expandable thing. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention. This is a great addition to the Moleskine line. They usually come with the bookmarks. This one actually has 3 bookmarks in it, a black one, a silver one, and kind of a gray one. This is awesome, especially for somebody who might be kind of all over the place like me. You have different categories within your journals that you want to separate, different bookmarks, different places that you need to get to really quick. So that's really nice, especially since this journal is divided into 3 sections: the maps, the custom thoughts, and the tabbed pages. So overall, it seems like a great little book that might just be outdated by smartphones, unfortunately. I wish that the Notes and Thoughts section was a little bit bigger, but it would increase the size of this book, which is already kind of on the thicker ends of the Moleskine Pocket line. I don't know if that helps you, kind of have fat fingers. So yeah, I'm not sure how often I'm going to be using that map section thanks to iOS. The tracing paper might be kind of fun to literally trace your steps, go back a few years from now and say, hey, yeah, that's where I walked. Other than that, I just don't know how much use I'm going to get out of the map section. I really wish that the Notes and Thoughts section was bigger so that we could add our own sketches in there, our own ideas, especially for somebody who's focused on writing like myself. I wanted to use this as a journal while I was over there in London. It's not going to happen just because those pages are so small. Unfortunately, I am going to have to buy a second journal just to keep my thoughts and ideas down on and my notes, whereas this one's kind of just designated for quick sketches or maybe a couple of quick ideas while you're in transit somewhere. So overall, cool book. It's embossed with London right here on the spine. Kind of nice to have there. It's going to be a great memento, great little souvenir after it's filled, assuming that I actually use this to its potential. So I can show my kids later on, look down, look back and see all the things we went through. But overall, just kind of wasted space with those maps. Nothing against Moleskine. I'm not sure when these were first released, but again, it's just with smartphones and GPS systems, the maps are kind of outdated, not really going to be used too much. But if you're looking for something that has these things in it, it's got your categories, your contacts, it's got itineraries in there. I didn't show this in the video because I didn't think that the camera would be able to focus on them. But there's also a size conversion for clothes in here. There's a page dedicated to that. There's also a conversion page for units of measurement, currency, and there's even a ruler printed on the edge of one of the pages in here so that you can do any measuring that you might need to while you're out and about. So that's the review for the Moleskine City Notebook London edition. There's also other cities. Check them out on their website, see if it's working for you. But just be wary that there's not a lot of space in here for your own personal writing and sketches. You might want to take a second notebook on hand. As far as souvenirs go, something cool to look back in the past though, I don't think it's going to get much better than this. Again, I'm not sure how you guys are going to find it, but I've got this for about $17 on Amazon Prime. So take a look into it, see if you like it. If not, it's really not going to set you back too much just to see if it's going to work for you. All right, have a good one. Hey guys, okay, one thing I forgot to mention in the review was about the perforated pages, detachable sheets. On the little stickers and on the review pages that you're going to find, it's going to say that it comes with 32 detachable sheets, which is kind of a trademark of Moleskine. Now, I'll admit that this is my first Moleskine journal I've ever purchased, so I'm not sure if this is a universal thing throughout all Moleskine journals or if it's just this specific city edition, but it's definitely worth mentioning. Detachable sheets is a definite misdirection. These aren't sheets. I mentioned it briefly, I just thought it was worth showing here. These are actually little tiny detachable squares. Okay, so I'm going to show you, it's worth attaching up so you can just see what it is. I'm going to rip one off here. So as you can see, it's not a sheet, it's just a detachable little square. I mean, you can rip the whole thing off if you really want to. So that's what you're getting here. You're getting a little tiny detachable square. And I have no idea what you would use this for other than just handing your phone number out to random people that you meet. But I mean, hey, one of these tabs over here is a bars, wineries, adventures, sleeping, and hotels section. So I don't know, maybe that's what Moleskine wants you to use it for. But yeah, so you can detach the entire sheet if you want to. But their intent is definitely for you to just tear out these little tiny squares and hand them out to people. Again, not sure other than phone numbers and names what you're going to be doing with this, but just so you know, that's what you're going to be looking for when it comes to these detachable sheets.